Kirby versus Zero Suit Samus for the finals.
You know, how's that Zero Suit Samus look?
So that's fun. Apparently
Good.
she's OP.
Good. Well, I'm sure that they probably haven't done any balancing for this game. Um, hey guys, it's Alex. I got Scott and Nabeshin with me, and of course, Jarrett Green, writer extraordinaire,
God
Mr.
damn it!
Grumpy editor.
And I want that
Oh,
to
I
be my
thought you got
official
the
title.
fucking editor.
Yeah, Grumpy Grumps Grumps editor or Game Grumps editor, but I feel like we can't step on that toe.
Nope.
Just get like a cease and desist letter.
Yeah,
from,
we don't. You don't need that.
from Danny. Of course. We're gonna talk about Nintendo, and then we're gonna talk to Jared about what he thought and kind of what we thought of E3 in general, and we're gonna have fun. Maybe. Scott, I'm looking at you.
Fuck you, man.
So, Nabeshin, do you want to run us down, give us the breakdown of Nintendo with your almighty list?
Yeah, sure, man. So the first thing he showed off was Smash Brothers, of course.
Yes. Alright, so can we talk about the layout of this presentation for just a moment?
Oh, do you want to start like that? Okay. Well
Because
first.
it really started with what the fuck is going on. I was
Oh, to start out with a Robot Chicken presentation.
yeah, Robot Chicken, and then Reggie fucking, and then an uncouth Mother 3 joke. And someone out there cried so hard when they.
Yeah, that
when
was
they made
Andrew
that joke.
Goldfarb.
Yeah, Andrew Goldfarb cried so hard when they made that joke, and then they just lit the guy on fire. I thought the Robot Chicken skits were pretty funny. I uncontrollably lost it when they did the fucking Little Mac thing. I don't know why. Like, it probably wasn't that funny, but I couldn't handle it.
The Little Mac thing was pretty funny.
I like it was pretty funny, but I thought it was way funnier than it actually was.
Fair enough.
But I'm a big fan of Robot Chicken. I always have been.
If I still had TV, I'd still be watching that because apparently it's still on TV, which I didn't know.
Yeah, it's still going. Like, I stopped watching it 4 years ago, so I guess it hasn't gotten old with me because I stopped having a TV 4 years ago. So,
Yeah, exactly.
just
Then
seeing
pretty
it
much,
again, yeah.
yeah, but pretty much right after that was this weird presentation of introducing the Mii characters as your characters for Smash Brothers. But the way they introduced it was just like Reggie and Iwata just going hand-to-hand combat and like the most like dramatic and like that was just like a gift generator. It was just like every second of that is just like the stares, the fighting moves.
They lift their heads up slowly and just glare at each other. And then Reggie did the I went Reggie stance where he just looked like he was doing the monster mash towards Iwata.
Iwata just like a fucking headbutt to the gut, that Luigi headbutt thing.
Yeah. As soon as they started fighting, I immediately they're announcing me's for Smash, but it clicked like right away. But it was it's equally as funny. So, yeah, it was dumb. I remember Scott, your brother tweeted at me when that started. He's like, "What the fuck is happening?" And then I just tweeted out like, "It's over. Nintendo already won. It's game over, man."
And now all your minds are blown. There's some games here, I think.
Maybe. Then they started talking about video games. Well, they started with the Mii characters.
Which I think is cool.
Or they segued into that. Which, I thought like if they were gonna do Mii characters the way, it's like basically there are 3 base types of Mii, and then you can customize their movesets. Each type has 12 different moves to choose from, special moves. So
It's like the Soul Calibur created character, but with Mii's.
yeah, kind of. So there you go. That was fine. Ice-T. Do you want us to fight Elijah Wood and Ice-T? All the characters of all.
I mean, all the freaking people. Ice-T. That's what like made me move it. That was like that was the thing that made me move it. All the people. Ice-T. I don't know.
It's like they threw a dart at a wall full of pictures, and you're like, I guess I see.
Like, who's really popular at E3? Oh, Ice-T was on that Gears of War stage one time. Let's put it on game.
What's going on? What is he doing?
It was Abraham Lincoln with an arm cannon, fucking Ice-T and Elijah Wood. Like, what the fuck? I don't understand what they're going for, but I like it. I was on board.
And then they showed the figures.
Yeah,
the
the
amiibo.
amiibo figures, which sounds like a brand name.
Like, from what I understand, like, it's supposed to be, I guess it's like a mixture of things. So it's like me is for French. It kind of sounds like amigo, which is friend in Spanish, and me's in the middle. So I guess they were trying to go for something. I still think it sounds dumb, but that's just me. But yeah, Brandon, bro,
Yeah,
I don't know.
It just sounds like a easy brand name as much as like fucking Portal powers. So I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, it was. I think they knew enough that is like this is gonna be some weird, confusing shit that we're just gonna put on another video and not have it bring down this Nintendo Direct, which I'm glad that they did. And then Reggie had like this really weirdly emotional like speech, and he's like, "I'm gonna let the developers talk about their games. Let them get in front of the camera." And then it just like did this cut. And then it was Kirby, goddamn, it was Yoshi, right? After that,
I think so.
Yes, Yoshi's Woolly World.
looks
Yeah, looks like Kirby's Epic Yarn. This one actually looks like it's more of a challenge than Kirby's Epic Yarn. Seems like it's more I wouldn't say more gameplay oriented. Because Kirby Epic Yarn was fun, but like it was just like a game to play just to enjoy yourself. But like when me and Ethan talked about before, like when you lose all your jewels and shit like that, you just lose your shit. It's just the most infuriating thing. But like other than that game's like a perfect like thin game. It's just a fun, not challenging. It's a game to go from beginning to end just to look at the presentation and enjoy yourself. This one seems more like an actual, I guess you could say, game. Because you got like those pea piranhas everywhere and Shy Guys, so it seems like will be at least more of a challenge in that sort of sense.
yeah, it was. It gave me the Yoshi Story vibe. One of the most heartfelt N64 games ever made. I don't know if I'm the only one that ever liked that game, but
Heartfelt.
You are.
it made me feels. It reminded me of Yoshi's Story, which is good, because out of the two, Yoshi's Story is a much better game. I think.
I don't think we need more Yoshi-centric platformers, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think Mario and Luigi hold it down well enough where, like, his steed doesn't need its own platform.
And I mean, this looks like just like a fun little aside. Like, I don't know if I'll end up playing this, because I never ended up playing Kirby's Epic Yarn, because, like, I didn't know how long it would hold my attention. And having watched my roommate play a ton of it, I made the right call on that. So I don't know if I'll end up playing this, but it looks good. Looks adorable.
It'll probably be fine. It's almost like, do you give Robin Hood's, like, horse a movie?
Probably. Let's be
What would that be called? Who'd play the horse?
Ron Perlman, because they have the same size head.
That's true.
I don't know. Yeah, I agree. It's like, does Yoshi need all of these video games when who really likes Yoshi?
I mean, everyone likes Yoshi, but who likes Yoshi?
Who loves saying like, I need another Yoshi game because it's the only thing that can bring me happiness? Like,
This Mario shit is not cutting it.
They could have made a fucking Donkey Kong Yarn game, and everyone would be equally as excited because it would still be really cute.
Right.
And Donkey Kong.
They were like, no, Yoshi. I mean, I guess Luigi's taking his heel turn. Mario's off doing big things. They need someone to hold it down. And I guess it's Yoshi now.
I think Luigi's just like, he's in a dark place right now. he's fucking glaring at everyone. He's probably on some hardcore drugs.
It's probably really hardcore drugs.
Yeah. Any other thoughts, Scott? This looks like something you want to get your hands on.
I'm a bit iffy on this one. Then again, like for general platformers, I'm always iffy on those.
Yeah. Too cute for you. Too cute for Scott.
That's not quite been the problem. But I am a bit excited because I haven't had a Yoshi game for fucking ever.
All right. Yeah. It is nice to have a Yoshi game co-op too. Play a little yarn red Yoshi, which looked super cute. So there you go. I like that you can swallow the Yoshi and spit it and like throw it as an egg too.
That's kind of funny. I liked it. I thought it was funny.
Going back to the Amiibos for a second. By the way, that thing is seriously going to sell because it looks those figures look so good. Number one,
Yeah.
and number two, it's like I don't know. I just look at them and say, oh yeah, I have to buy them.
Yeah, right. I have to have all of them. I need them. Like I don't even know why. I'm not going to use them probably.
Yeah,
No.
Once.
That's all it boils down to.
And it's like I get it. Like it's brilliant. All right, they won. They win. I said I said on the podcast like 2 weeks ago, as soon as they announced the Smash Brothers figurines for NFC, I'm going to buy them, and I'm not going to be happy about it, and I'm not happy about it, but they look really cool.
And you know what the weird thing about that is? It's like I don't see people buying Wii U's for it, but I can just see them buying the figures alone.
Just the figures,
The
just
figures
to have
alone.
them.
I know.
Yeah.
Those figures will fucking sell just regardless, because
That's
people
probably
will
true.
think they look cool, and no one will have a Wii U who has those figures. They just like, man, I got this.
Nintendo's like, I don't even want you to have Wii U. I just want you to have the figures.
It's gonna make them a ton of money.
A collection of those figures probably costs as much as a Wii U.
Probably.
Probably.
Fuck you guys.
God, like how much would one cost? Like ballpark, maybe $8, $7.
I would say $7. I think same price as like a Skylander.
Yeah, definitely as much as like a Disney Infinity toy. And I think they might be a little bit more expensive than Skylanders because they're actual movie characters to sell.
Yeah, true. Actual brand characters. I don't know. I'm curious how they're gonna be bundling them. If I could just spend $60 or $70 and just get all of them, or get a pack of 10 or something. I don't know.
Oh, also, did you hear about the GameCube controller accessory for that? Oh, Smash Brothers.
How much?
Like the adapter is like $20. I think it said. With the controller, it's some amount. I can't remember how much it is, but like there's also a bundle with the actual game, the adapter, and a controller for like $100. So it's not too bad.
I don't need the adapter. I like playing on like the classic controller or the Pro controller, so I'm not too worried about it. But
Yeah, same here.
But nerds get like super pumped about their GameCube controllers when Smash
I know,
comes there.
weirdly, just so
People bring
excited.
like I've been to plenty of Smash tournaments, and it's always a fucking dick measuring contest when it comes to controllers.
Yeah,
It's epic.
yeah, it's true. I've been to a Smash Brothers tournament, and Scott can agree with me that people just bring their little controllers that they have colored or painted, and
Oh yeah, all personalized. It's
yeah.
I've seen so many Wavebirds in one area in my entire life.
I know, right?
I do like the Smash Brothers, the black Smash Brother logo GameCube controller. That's pretty cool. I'd like to own one of those if I could.
So we just want to have a GameCube controller to sell again, which is like a kind of a weird thing. It's just like it's been gone for like 10 years, and it's like we're putting it out on store shelves again.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I felt when they were talking about buying a DualShock 3 for your PlayStation TV. I was like, why not just sell a DualShock 4?
Why not?
If you don't have a controller, why not buy the newest one?
Yeah, because it's more expensive. They'll make more money on it.
I don't know. But yeah. So the next thing after that was the Legend of Zelda Wii U.
Yeah. So holy shit, guys! I'm not even gonna try to contain my excitement for this. Fuck. That looked good. I wonder what did you think, Scott? When he fucking snapped his fingers, did you just like start? Just did your erection just start growing from there?
Immediate.
Scott's muted.
Oh, Scott's muted. All right, he's probably just playing League of Legends. Yeah, no, it's just like I expected them to tease it. I think we discussed this at length. Like I thought they would just maybe put up an image or give a name, and they were like, "Hey, no, we're going to show you what we want the game to look like." And to Nintendo representatives, multiple representatives have told multiple outlets that was all rendered in game, and that's what the game looks like when it's running, which I will believe until I can't anymore, like I told you guys a few minutes ago. But yeah, it's just like I immediately got the Skyrim vibe when it was like, see this open world, those mountains, you can go there. I'm like,
I can?
And it is
You know what's cool? You could have gone there in the first Zelda.
You could have.
I mean, they were just mountains. There wasn't anything in them.
Yeah, they were just empty places. Anudis, you can talk. We're not recording anything, so.
He's muted.
I don't know if you're all set. Yeah, he is muted. Everyone's just muted.
No, he's good now. I think.
All right, hey, buddy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
What's
is
up,
great.
Welcome back from the grave.
Nice. Nice to see you guys and hear you guys again.
See some of us. Just actually see Jarrett.
Yeah, just Jarrett.
Because my internet will just die if I put on my video, apparently.
Yeah, actually, no, that's probably a good idea. I'll take off my video.
Yeah.
There we go.
We were just discussing the Zelda.
It's nice to represent.
You know what? I've actually missed pretty much all of E3 today, so I just took a quick glance of what Nintendo showed.
Oh, so you haven't really seen anything?
Yeah, I mean, like, I've seen the titles, I saw, like, some release dates, but I haven't seen any trailers or anything yet today.
Okay.
Okay, then hang back, and we're going to run down Nintendo, and you can chime in and ask us questions if you have any.
Yeah, definitely. I'll do a quick update and see what's happening, so that way I know what you guys are talking about.
Cool.
Scott, are you available to... No. What about you, Nabeshin? What do you think when you saw it?
It does look cool. Like, I don't really know what to really say about it because I'm not too hard of a diehard Zelda fan. I just play them because I don't know, this is like something that people play and I enjoy them moderately. So,
Yeah,
it does look like a cool game. I hope to see more about it. That's all I can really say about it.
Yeah, like I'm glad that they showed as much as they did. It was just like, hey, you know, this is the art style. This is what Link looked like for a moment.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I was almost expecting like somewhat of an outcry, like kind of the same way with the Wind Waker. Like, oh, that doesn't look like that. That doesn't look like I thought there was gonna be something when I saw him, but like, no, he looked fine. And people didn't react harshly about it either. So like, I guess just happy to have him in HD. So let's see what they can get. So. Yeah.
Something about a ponytail?
Yeah, it was like there was a moment. Yeah, he has a ponytail. Like, I don't care.
He's an adult now? Is that what that's supposed to mean?
Like badass. Yeah,
He's all
been
Patrick
old enough
Swayze'd
that
out.
His hair is grown where he can tie it back. Yeah, you know, he's no ghosting.
You
That's the
get
only rule.
short
with this Zelda
DLC.
game. You get short hair DLC where he looks like he does in. You can pay $10 to give Link the skin he had in Hyrule Warriors. No, like it was fine. Like there was a moment, me and like a very small section of the internet were like, are they doing the female protagonist version of Link, or is this happening?
I thought that too. I thought that for like half a second.
Yeah, we all crawled back into our cocoons and wait. We will wait for the day because it's gonna happen. I'll tell you what, Lady Link will come true.
Lady Link.
Or Zelda as the protagonist. I will continue to believe in that.
I'd play Lady Link.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to see a Zelda game with a female protagonist. I think that would be really, really cool. But this is not the year. This is not the day. But yeah, it was like you know, they were saying all the right things. Aonuma, the badass that he is, you know, he's like, hey, you know, he talked about Wind Waker specifically, and he literally said all of the problems I have with that game. It's like, you know, we wanted to make a big world where a bunch of different venues are open and different and approachable from many angles, but the reality is in separate little worlds. Yeah, I'm gonna mute Anudis. Sorry, Anudis.
My bad.
We made a bunch of. It's fine. Made a bunch of little worlds that like were separate and it just ended up feeling really disconnected because of the ocean. So he's like, we decided to make a big open world where basically you can approach any new area from any angle because the world is just that massive, as opposed to like in A Link to the Past, where like you went to Death Mountain by going to the cave at the base of the mountain, and then you get to the top of the mountain. Now there's a possibility that isn't to do that now, which is super exciting. And yeah, they were just saying all the right stuff, and it looked like it's like dynamic ass, like this monster attacks, and then like fucking whips a bow and turns into Katniss Everdeen all of a sudden, and it just starts blasting it. Like people were pointing out, oh, Link looks different. Oh, he's not carrying a sword and stuff like that. But I don't know.
They need to go back to
the beginning of the game, though.
Yeah.
Where like you can shoot bombs off arrows and shit. That was.
Yeah, I mean, he had 2 like explosive arrows. I mean, they do some of that in Skyward Sword. And yeah, it looked cool, really cool. I'm very excited. And again, I'm glad they showed as little as they did, because now like I can contain myself and I'll be like, oh, they're working on it and they're saying next year, and I can put my faith in Nintendo on this. It sounds like Aiden was like, I want to make something different, and that's what he's doing. So, Jarrett, did you have any thoughts on the new Zelda?
I didn't really want this Zelda. I kind of wanted something more like
Link Between Worlds.
Link Between Worlds, but I mean, I got Link Between Worlds, so I guess it's time for someone else to get what they want.
I guess. I'm sick of this bullshit.
It's just I don't have a great relationship with the 3D Zeldas, and it's not necessarily because they're 3D. It's just chances are I'm not going to like it. Like the only 3D Zelda I really liked was Majora's Mask.
Oh, you're one of those weirdos.
Yeah,
actually, I like Majora's Mask. So that's cool.
Skyward Sword didn't do it for me. What was the one for Wii/GameCube?
Twilight
Princess.
Twilight Princess was just the longer version of Ocarina of Time.
It really was. And Ocarina of Time is a game that's
overrated.
Yeah, a lot. And I think a lot of people think Majora's Mask is overrated, but I think if you ask, I don't think that, like, there's a lot of, there's a far bigger constituency in the internet that thinks Ocarina of Time is the be-all and all Zelda, and I don't know where they get this information from.
Like, I put Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask on pretty comparable footing in my
Yeah, I see them pretty much the same
I
game,
like
honestly.
both a lot.
Yeah.
They really are super similar, with the exception of the impending doom in Majora's Mask, and they kind of like Doom.
The progression is pretty much how those games are different. Yeah. Like, I like them both a lot, and I think Ocarina of Time just gets a lot of the praise it does because it was the first thing that ever did any of the things that it did. You know, 3D combat was different, was just established in Ocarina of Time, and like targeting and strafing and all this weird shit that we never thought we'd be able to do in video games. And like, yeah, it is a very important game because of that, but like, on its own merits, it's just like a really, really solid dungeon crawling Zelda game. I don't think it's the greatest game ever made, but I think it's definitely something to look at when you talk about classics and games that should be remembered.
And I think it should be remembered and recognized, like kind of in the same way Mario 64 is recognized. Like 3D platformers didn't happen until Mario 64, and that's not an exaggeration. They didn't happen.
Yeah, they didn't exist.
And
like, no one
but
knew how
I
to
wouldn't
do it.
say Mario 64 is better than Mario Galaxy.
God no. I
not
get
better
annoyed
game.
at the people that say that. It's just like, no, Mario 64 is, it's a defining game, but it's not the best game.
Mm-hmm.
Just like when people ask me what my favorite Zelda game is, I say A Link to the Past because I think it's the best Zelda game, in my opinion. and a lot of nostalgia plays into that. But yeah. This reminds me of things, or at least what they were saying about this upcoming Zelda game reminds me of things that I liked about A Link Between Worlds. And it seems like that he was kind of going for it. Let's make the 3D version of A Link Between Worlds. That game was awesome. So we'll move on. Because Scott is currently preoccupied. What happened next, Nabeshin?
Bayonetta 2.
Yeah, that game looks good.
That game's fucking hot.
And what is it saying? October for that one as well?
Yeah, release date is sometime in October, which is where everything is at. So it's gonna be so rough this winter.
Oh,
You
yeah.
have no
Especially
idea.
everything Nintendo seems to be coming out in October.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
If it's coming out,
Hyrule Warriors.
It's September 26th.
Yeah, Hyrule Warriors is like the very end of September.
Yeah.
And
it's-
then
Smash.
Bayonetta 2, Smash and all these other third-party games coming out that month too. It's a bloodbath that month.
Yeah, it's absurd. Like, they're pretty much every game coming out in October are like the games that I was interested in, like Dragon Age, Smash Brothers, possibly Bayonetta. It's just
You're not gonna get Bayonetta.
I'm not gonna
You're
get
gonna save
Bayonetta
that
the day
money.
it comes out. Yeah, it's just like I will get Bayonetta like maybe in like January when there are no video games, and then in February I'm just gonna be.
Then all the
fucked.
video game back.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's just yeah, it's gonna be a long winter. Winter is coming. But yeah, like I wrote down, I was like after this, I have 6 games. 6 retail games are coming out in October that I want to play. Like Dragon Age 3, Evolve, Sunset Overdrive, Bayonetta 2, Fantasy Life, and Smash Bros. 3DS. So, calm down, October.
Before you get to Bayonetta, Scott, did you want to say something about Zelda?
Not too much.
I did.
You guys covered most of the stuff. They didn't a little bit. No, they didn't show much of it. They showed you that it was coming, and they gave you a general release date, which will most definitely be pushed back.
Yeah, that's like at the earliest. That's next fall. Like I don't doubt that A&M has been like working on that project since the Wii U came out, but still, they're gonna want to take their time with that. But are you excited that that game, that demo that they showed, or that video was allegedly running in engine?
Yep.
Yeah, that game looks really pretty. Just like, once again, I think Nintendo gets HD now. They did it with Mario Kart, Mario 3D World, and looks like they're doing it with Zelda. So, looks good. Anything else, Bayonetta, Nabeshin? They're fucking putting the first one in with the second one. With
Yeah.
a bunch of stupid Nintendo shit in it.
Yeah, it's like, so from what I saw, which is kind of crazy, like all her Umber Witch's power, like when she got that big giant hand, big giant foot comes out, that power, that's apparently going to be Bowser, just coming through this stage, punching and kicking everybody. So I'm guessing when when she does her ultimate climax, I know Jared knows what I'm talking about, when she does her climax, then I guess Bowser will disappear and just start chomping on the enemies, and God, I guess.
So good.
Would that be bloody as fuck? Cause they devour those things, so I guess that might happen. That'd be weird to see.
That'd be so
I don't know.
awesome.
I don't. That's a good question. Like, is Nintendo going to cross that license line now? Shit's bloody as hell now.
I don't know,
Let's
because
hope
that's what
so.
Bayonetta is. I mean, it's not. They can't censor that first game because they cussed in that fucking game. So I don't know. That's gonna be really weird. And plus the alternate costume, you had her dressed up as Princess Peach and of Samus, which is cool because when she gets her battle mode, the visor goes down, so she's in
Yep.
Samus mode, and she got one just like Link. So that game looks amazing to me.
That
Yeah,
looks so
I cannot
fun.
wait.
So dumb.
And people say that game looks freaking amazing for what it looks like on a Wii U. I think I heard it was 60 frames per second, which be kind
Oh,
of
Wii U.
on Wii U, which I don't know if that's confirmed or not, but if it's 60 frames, that'd be kind of shocking, honestly, because the last game was 30 frames per second on the 360, was the best version of it. So I just don't know. I'm crazy excited for that game right now.
Yeah, it's right around the corner too. It's very.
It's a good looking game.
exciting.
It's hard to believe. I had to have to resign that it's not going to be localized or it's not going to migrate off of the Nintendo consoles. I'll never see that game unless I buy a Wii.
Mm.
Yeah,
And that makes me sad to look at.
but it's a good get on their part because there are
It is.
diehard
Smart.
fans for that fucking game, such as the one present. What's next, Nabeshin?
Hyrule Warriors.
Not The Legend of Zelda Hyrule Warriors. That's what I thought they were gonna do, but I didn't want to say anything because I wasn't sure. But yeah, Hyrule Warriors looks dumb fun. Never played a Dynasty Warriors game, so this is going to be my first, and Zelda looks really cool.
Oh, you're confirming that you're going to get it?
Yeah, I mean, I thought I was going to, but yeah, I'll probably get it. I'll have fun with it. Looks
Yeah,
fun.
the thing you just need to understand when you play Dynasty Warriors game is for a good example, I think when you play where you listen to a podcast or something like that, it's something that you don't really pay attention to. Really, it's just something that you play just to play while you're listening or doing or something else is in the background. If that makes sense, like me playing threes I'm playing threes right now because that's just what I do when I record a podcast now, and it's just something you just play while you're doing other things. That you have your full focus is on this main thing, which is recording the podcast, and playing the game is the second thought. So it'll be fun for what it is.
Yeah, it looks like a fun game. I've heard the biggest thing with Dynasty Warriors is just once you've played 2 of them, you'll never play one again. And I'm like, well, I've played 0 of them, so
They're still good.
yeah, it's gonna be my mind's gonna probably be blown by how much dumb fun I'm having. They're also doing cooperative, right? One person can play entirely on the gamepad while the other person has the TV all to themselves, which is yeah, that's the way you do it. Makes perfect sense. So, yeah, looks good. I'm very excited for that game. Not very excited. I'm excited for that game because I'm excited to play it and dig around and play Zelda and cast magic spells and blow shit up. That sounds real fun. So, yeah, Scott, any more or less excited for it?
Not so much.
Okay.
I've played some Dynasty Warriors before. It's not really me.
All right. Anutis, are you a Dynasty Warriors fanboy? I'll take that as a yes.
He's amused, bro.
It says he's not, but he might be, yeah. Oh, yeah, he is. Sorry, Anutis. I didn't mean to throw you under the bus there. I'll just make you look like an idiot another time. Jared, has anything here sold you on a Wii U?
No.
Okay.
Unlike the other consoles, I am pretty sure I'm never going to buy a Wii U. I haven't bought a Wii. I didn't buy GameCube. I actually procured a GameCube otherwise, but I haven't bought a Nintendo console since the 64, and I don't think I will. This won't change anything.
Okay. Anutis, do you have your response ready, prepared?
Yes, I don't like Dynasty Warriors.
Okay. For some odd reason, I thought you'd be a giant Dynasty Warriors fan.
No, that game's dumb enough for me to love.
It's after you've played 13 straight hours of Monster Monpiece, you're man, I could really play some Dynasty.
I could really play anything else right now.
All right, what's next, Nabeshin?
The Kirby game.
Rainbow Cruise.
Kirby. Yes.
I was excited. I'm I played a little bit of Canvas Cruise enough to know, hey, this isn't my cup of tea. I'm hey, they're making a sequel to that game that I know a lot of people really, really like. So.
It's Kirby and the Rainbow Cruise.
There you go. Looks good. Looks like that's a good utilization of the gamepad touchscreen.
Yeah, Kirby games are always interesting to play.
Yeah, it's just God, that game looks really good in claymation though. Holy shit.
That's awesome. It's claymation.
It took me back at first because I didn't notice it was claymation, but like then you kind of see the way that Kirby moves and everything else moves, and it's like, yeah, it's really cool.
It's funny because it almost seems like Kirby should have always been in claymation.
Kirby and the Rainbow Cruise, and yeah, you're right. It's like looks
like it's almost a perfect motif for him.
Yeah, it's just like ever changing and evolving and absorbing things,
right.
and
It looks very
bigger.
constructed. It can grow big and small, but it's always like that sort of hand painted like intimacy. That's kind of cutesy and wholesome. Is what Kirby's always been about.
Yeah, it looks really good. Like, again, I played whatever cruise, the previous cruise ship that Kirby was, Canvas Cruise, and I was like, this is fine, but not my cup of tea. But looks good. Glad they're making a sequel because there are people like Patrick Klepek out there that fucking adore that game. What's the next Nabeshin? Let's keep it moving.
Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Hey, that looks like a Japanese role-playing game.
I saw the actual gameplay for it. The game looks hot. It looks really good.
It does
but
look really good.
I don't think I could play that. It's too MMO.
Yeah, that might be what kills it for me as well. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I got distracted for a second. Go ahead, Scott. You were gonna say something.
Well, like the first one, we all know was really good.
Yeah.
Received really well, and it's the price for it is way too goddamn high.
Yeah, now it's just like
You
want a copy of it. You have to like import from Japan, get the Asian version, or you gotta pay around $180 for it.
yeah.
That's the price.
It's just like it was a GameStop exclusive, and then they stopped printing it, and now it's just like you have to buy a copy, either used from GameStop, and since they fucking basically have the retail rights to it, they can mark it up ridiculously, or you can just import it and then just suffer through that. But yeah, that is a difficult game to acquire. Just Xenoblade Chronicles, the Wii game. So this appears to be very much a direct sequel. So I don't know if that's going to be putting off anybody. But
I missed the Xenoblade fucking hype train. I knew it was like a big deal, but I didn't know it was such a big deal that people were like brought to tears when they announced this like Wii U situation.
yeah, I mean, like people like that game. I don't understand. I never played Chronicles. Like I said, Scott, have you played it or?
I wish.
Okay.
Are they related at all to Xenogears or Xenosaga?
It's related to Xenogears, but not Xenosaga, I think. It might be like thematically related to Xenosaga.
Though Xenosaga is really only thematically related to Xenogears. Like, they're not directly related either.
Yeah. It's just like themes and motifs kind of thing.
But they are all still in the same universe, I guess.
Maybe?
Maybe not the same narrative universe, but in the same sort of conceptual universe.
Yeah, maybe. That sounds more right. I don't know. I'd have to do intense research on that.
Do mad diligence.
Yeah, I'd have to read like 40 Wikipedia pages to answer that question. I don't know, like, yeah, I didn't get to see the gameplay, so Nabeshin, you said looks hot. I liked how the character models and everything looked in this trailer. They're very stylized.
It looks decent. I've only ever known people who want to play it. I've never known anyone who actually does so.
Yeah. Present company included. So there you go. What's next, Nabeshin?
He is away.
Oh, he's away.
The next game is also a what is it called?
It was
Mario Maker?
Mario Maker, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, Mario Maker. Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand why everyone's so excited about this. Like, I don't know. I feel like when I heard about Mario Maker, I'm just like, oh, people are gonna make a bunch of like shitty Mario levels now. Like that's all I thought. It was not like the situation of Little Big Planet where people made a bunch of cool shit that I didn't know I wanted to play. And I was like, I bet people are going to make a bunch of cool shit that I don't know I want to play. But with Mario Maker, I'm like, I bet people are just going to make a bunch of shitty Mario levels that are way too hard, and then I'm just going to get really pissed off at it.
Because you're bad at Mario.
I'm okay at Mario. Alright? I'll have you know. But, like, I am, like, past the stage in my life where I want to play a really challenging Mario game. I think that's where I'm at. Or a challenging 2D Mario game, I should say. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't know why I want to create a Mario level, like, in the first place.
What came first, the Mario or the level?
Like, I just don't know why I want this. I guess I don't even really understand the fun idea of making these levels. Like, again, because the Little Big Planet idea is it was presented as an engine to make your own games. The Little Big Planet is a game. There's levels and a kind of story, but the entire point is you can then make your own levels and spread them out. And I guess this is the same idea of Mario Maker, but the angle was you can recreate the Mario shit you love to play, and I'm like, I could just go play the Mario shit I love to play.
Yeah, right. Like I'll just play Mario 3 if I want to play the best Mario.
Right,
game.
I can get that on the Wii console, the virtual console. I can just go play that.
Yeah, like I mean, the ideas of being able to like flip between styles of Mario games was actually really cool. When I saw that, I got more interested in it. Like when he jumped to like New Super Mario Bros. U art style. But like if you can do that through Mario 1, 2, 3 World and the current style, the New Super Mario Bros. Style, then I'd be more on board because then people can make really good Mario 3, and for some odd reason I have more faith that people make good Mario 3 levels than they will make any kind of Mario level. But yeah, I mean, I guess if that's a downloadable game, it's a Wii U game, so feasibly they could just do DLC, like, hey, download the Mario 2 pack and fucking make Mario 2 shit, because that
oh yeah,
like American Mario 2, not actual Mario 2.
No, Mario 2 is fucking odd.
Doki Doki Panic all day. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense. It does make sense. It just,
Anudis is muted. Never mind. Sorry. I keep wanting to fucking bring him into this. Nabeshin, do you want to make Mario levels? Nabeshin, can you hear us? Right here.
I'm here, yo.
Save us. Do you want to make Mario levels? Is that what's going to say on a Wii U?
I don't want to make Mario levels. I don't really care for Nintendo too much. So I'm sorry I'm like totally out of here. It's just right now I'm sharing a room with my parents and my mom's cleaning and still unpacking. So I figured I'm better off muted while she's ruffling bags and stuff, and then if I need something to say, then I'll chime in. But so far all this is like over my head.
Yeah, no, that is correct.
What else have you guys covered so far since I joined here? Just the Nintendo stuff, or did you already go over?
We were just going over Nintendo stuff, and then I will talk to you about other stuff once we finish this up.
All right, cool.
But yeah, Mario Maker. Scott.
Well, you see, the thing here about this is people have just been trying to keep on making engines just online for whatever the fuck reason. Mm-hmm. That's been happening for a long time.
Yeah. And some people have made decent Mario games. I've played a Mario World clone that is really good. And you fight Giga Bowser at the end. I don't remember what it's called, but I thought it was really dope.
You know what my favorite Mario shit ever is Flash Mario, where you can add different Nintendo characters and play through the first Mario as them.
Oh yeah, Super Mario Crossover?
Yeah, Crossover. Where you can play as Samus and Link. That shit's hilarious.
Yeah, it's just pretty dumb. Just fucking
that should be a game.
Down-stabbing enemies.
It doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, no, Scott showed that to me, 6 years ago, and I'm like, this shit is dumb, and then we played a whole bunch of it.
Yeah, you used to play fucking Simon Belmont throwing axes
at
Goombas.
Because who cares? Like that's the kind of shit they got to incorporate into
Right.
Mario Maker. Is the Simon Belmont business of axes.
But yeah, it's like that's been a thing. Like people making Mario levels, like outside of the actual Mario games, has been a thing forever. And as far as the engine goes, who do you think is going to make a better engine for creating Mario levels? The Mario team or random people on the internet?
Yeah, that is very, very true. I mean, like people like the Giant Bombcast. When I was watching their reactions to it, they're right in saying like if you could like change the physics when you change the art style to the specific like physics from that game and the jumping, the way it felt, and the way it moved, and the way you turn and whatnot, that would be hot stuff. Like I said, make it so you can go across all of the Mario games. Change it into any type of Mario game, from 1 to New Super Mario Bros. So, all right. So right now, I would normally say move on, but Nabeshin was having audio problems, and I don't know what the next game was. I think it was Splatoon, but
We can go ahead and jump into it.
we can talk about Splatoon. So Nintendo announced a new intellectual property called Splatoon, which is a third-person shooter in which you shoot ink to cover a map, and then the person at the end of the time limit with the most ink on the map, or the team, wins. It's a 4v4 online multiplayer.
You know what that kind of reminds me of?
What?
It's almost like you remember the classic Bomberman when you had that one match where each bomb is your color and it fills up those squares.
Yeah.
You have like 2 minutes to fill up the map as much as you can with your color. It's like that, but only realized in third person, and kind of sounds cool.
Yeah, it is. It looks really cool. Like, it looks like a lot of fun. I was one of those people toting that I just didn't think Nintendo would announce any new IP at all. This is first party developed, first party published, and it looks cool. What do you think of it, Jarrett? I'm curious.
I think if you, it's always funny when you watch Nintendo do things other places are doing, because it's always fucking strange.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, someone was like, maybe we should make a third-person shooter, and they're like, good, and we made Splatoon, and you're like, you look at Splatoon, you're like, what the fuck am I even looking at? But it does look interesting, and I guess when there's more to see, I can develop a better opinion of it. But right now, I'm kind of just curious at how fun can painting the world be over and over again. But I guess if you had, I guess the variety of worlds and how you paint them becomes like the nuance that makes this game good or bad. Again, you don't see, there's not a whole lot of information about it. It's definitely something I'm not immediately averse to. I think I'm a little bit more interested than not, and I'm receptive to new IPs really from any direction. Yeah. And I'm super surprised Nintendo's the one doing that.
Yeah. It's like we were joking, like, or we got a question on the podcast about a month ago, I think, from Harold maybe. Just like saying, like, what if like Infinity Ward or Treyarch made a first-person shooter that was like a paintball game and generated and made for a younger audience that was like less violent, but it was still like a good first-person shooter with the mechanics and stuff. And this kind of reminds me of that idea of just like, this is a third-person shooter that isn't violent. It's fun. It's colorful. The character designs are really cool. It's really pretty. And then, like, the crux of the gameplay is that you are all little squids. And you can move as a squid through your own team's ink, and you can move very, very quickly and hop up walls and climb and traverse the land really quickly. But when you go through someone else's ink, you stop being a squid and you're like trudging through. You can't move quickly, and you can't shoot ink while you are in squid form. So it looks like there's like this really Twitch gameplay of just jumping between being a squid and not, and moving around really quickly.
Yeah, just gotta say, I just saw the gameplay for that, and it actually looks really interesting. I like the colors for it.
Yeah, it's like it's super colorful and something we don't really get to see in shooters anymore, especially like third-person shooters where it's like Uncharted is like the most colorful of them, and then everything else is Gears of War and grunts. But you know that's been changing for a while now, and it's I don't know it's like it's a cool thing. I think Nintendo always does, like you said, Jared, fucking weird shit. So I'm excited to see what they do. What did you think, Scott?
This is the one I'm the most iffy about.
Okay.
Then again, am I big on shooters?
No.
Not at all.
So.
At best, it seems okay.
Okay.
Like from that first glance.
Yeah, I mean, like when I first saw it, when they did like this weird transition, and then there's like shots of jellyfish in aquariums, I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then like they started showing it, and I'm like, I don't like this at all. And then as I watched, and they kind of explained how it worked a little bit longer, I was like, this is really cool, and it grew on me quite quickly. And then there was the moment like 20 minutes later where I was like, oh wait, that was like a new IP. Like this could be like a new franchise for Nintendo.
I don't know.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
That's a tough statement to make right now.
Yeah.
This could be like.
I mean, I know. I'm just saying, like this is something new and shiny with different characters. Like, you know, this.
Like to me, this is like wow.
Yeah, it is. It
yeah,
is
if
very much
you
like
remember
that.
that.
I do. A lot of people that I was listening to talk about this also made that comparison. Yeah, I'm not saying.
I'm not talking about like in like similarity of gameplay. I'm just talking about in like new IP aspect. One and done.
Which you know is idea like a ideology that I can very much support. I'm not saying that this is going to be some new franchise, but you know, it's new property. It's not fucking Mario Paint, the third-person shooter version. So, which they could have easily done, and that would probably sell more.
You should just do it. It's like a second Mario Paint.
There you go.
Mario
You're one
Paint
of those people. Nabeshin, do you have any thoughts on this? He's currently muted, but I don't know if he's like available. What's next? They had a lot of
I swear
things
this
to
thing
talk
just
about.
keeps muting me on purpose.
Sorry, that might be me. I've been trying to just keep the background noise to a minimum.
Oh, my bad.
It's fine. It's just like when people watch the archive of this, I'll be like, yeah, see, there's less background noise now. What's next? Anybody know?
There's
The new fighter for Smash Bros.
We did that already.
Yeah.
Son.
What I get for coming in late.
Nabeshin?
Yeah. The only thing else is just the stuff that wasn't announced at the conference, like the Star Fox game and the Mario Party 10, stuff like that.
So like they did Splatoon and then they closed out. They did the Palutena announcement for Smash Brothers, and like I'm the only person. It was me and Scott and maybe Justin Graffius somewhere on Twitter at the Sigma Omega. We're like, man, I would really like to watch a Kid Icarus anime.
Didn't I just say that?
You said it as well. Because I love the stupid banter between Palutena and Pit in that game was so fucking funny.
Did you watch those Nintendo videos of those that anime? There was one where like they were really good actually, because they were on 3D and like they were about like 5 minutes long, not that long, but those promos I watch them all the time just because I really liked how the animation and the voice acting was. It was just funny to watch.
Yeah, no, I just the chemistry between those two characters in Kid Icarus Uprising is just really funny. They're like a dynamic duo of themselves. So I was just sitting there like enjoying it and be like, I bet everyone else fucking hates this right now, and I'm just gonna be quiet about it on Twitter. But yeah, Palutena was one of the choices for a character in Smash Brothers that I thought was possible. So, and then they showed Miyamoto. He's like, I'm gonna show you some crazy bit later today. And that was
It's
it.
like blurred out the Star Fox in the background. Why would you do that? That doesn't like,
Just use focus against him. It's like I could see an R-wing. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And we learn later because the Star Fox game that they're showing on this floor is not a game. It is just like a tech demo at the moment, but it will be a video game.
You know what I realized?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry, you know what I realized with this E3 is that there's a lot of no real gameplay. I know with E3's panel they had a lot of conceptual footage, and I don't know. I feel like this wasn't really riddled with gameplay this year.
Yeah, you're right. There are a lot less demos on stage, and I think that's because fucking everything is coming out in 2015.
Yeah, true that.
The only thing I can think of that got a demo that comes out in 2015 is The Order 1886, and that could have just been like a pre-recorded thing because they didn't show the man on stage. They didn't show him playing it. He wasn't holding a DualShock 4.
I think they might have actually though.
They might have. Okay. I don't know.
Or was that maybe that was Arkham Knight? I don't remember.
Arkham.
It was a dude creeping on the stage in one of those suit shows.
Yeah, you're right. They did show Arkham as well, which is good. But yeah, like Microsoft showed Assassin's Creed and The Division. So, and then like Sony showed Arkham and The Order and what's the third one? God damn it. Far Cry. So, yeah, there were much less demos. I mean, like, it's not something I would expect from a Nintendo Direct. Usually they just have commentary over some kind of gameplay trailer. But, yeah, Nintendo just afterwards, they're just like, here's like a whole bunch of other shit, too. Because they didn't talk about 3DS at all, except for Smash Brothers during their press event, because they're like, hey, we're going to give you a reason to buy Wii U, so we're only going to talk about Wii U games, which was surprising, and I appreciated it. Because now I'm very happy to own a Wii U. And then they're like, here's like fucking Leighton Cross Street Fighter or whatever. Leighton Cross.
Leighton Cross Street Fighter.
Leighton Cross Phoenix Wright is coming out August 26th, and Fantasy Life, which is now like my most anticipated game ever. It's coming out. I don't even know why. Don't ask me why, because I don't. I watched that trailer and now I can't stop thinking about it. Fantasy Life is coming out September or October, like mid-October or something. And then Mario Party 10, they're just like, that's a video game too, but it's one of the shitty Mario parties where everyone has to work together. Was there any other announcements, Nabeshin?
Not that I can think.
They showed an eShop reel.
Yeah, showed like Shovel Knight and some other stuff, but nothing that really stands out, honestly.
Yeah, there weren't like a lot of standouts except for Fantasy Life, which looks amazing. And yeah, that was pretty much it. They just like had a slew of things, and then Reggie was like, "I'm gonna be wearing a Metroid pin tomorrow," and then everyone like rolled their eyes and said, "Like, if you're gonna fucking announce a Metroid game, just announce it. Stop talking about pins." That was just me, actually. But yeah, it was good. Good showing on Nintendo. I think they fucking killed it, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
They showed a lot of stuff that I really wanted to play, which I was surprised. I figured they would show a bunch of stuff that I wouldn't want to play. Yeah. What about you guys? What do you think? Nabeshin and Scott, two people with access to Wii U's here.
I mean, I'm excited.
I don't know. Like, yeah, they said all the right things. I'm happy with what I got. They showed me what I wanted.
Oh, Captain Toad. We fucking totally skipped over that, by the way.
That's what the one I forgot to write down.
Whoa, which one was it?
Captain Toad, the Captain Toad video game.
Oh, yeah.
It looks so good. It looks so good. That comes out this fall. Also, probably October. But yeah, that looks really good. So.
Yeah, I hope they don't make it in the movie.
People were saying like, "Hey, they should make a whole game of this Captain Toad minigame they have in Super Mario 3D World." I'm like, "Yeah, they should," and then they did. So, what did you say, Scott?
I said, please not October.
Probably October. Let's be real here.
But Game of the Year show.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to play all of those games. We'll have to like divvy it up. But yeah, it was really good showing. What do you think, Jared? Just like as someone who's never going to buy a Wii U.
I think on the outside looking in, there's a lot of promise. The problem with Nintendo has been their games have come out in bursts, and then there's been just desert between when these games come out. And it didn't really work the last time because the game that came out was that really not super awesome Donkey Kong game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
Preach.
other than that, I think it's fine. I think it was
I think it's
pretty
okay,
good show.
I guess.
Pretty good show. I mean, I'm not gonna, I have no real interest in it.
Yeah. Anudis, have you been sold on a Wii U?
Not on the Wii U, but actually probably a little bit sold on the Xbox One, believe it or not.
Okay. Well, you know what? Let's use this in a segue. We'll talk about
Speaking of the Xbox One.
Speaking of exponing, we'll talk about what Jared and Anudis thought of just E3 in general. Let's so what sold you, Anudis? Was it the fucking Halo Master Chief Collection? Because
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Everything they showed, I'm like, all right, this is interesting, this is cool. And then when they introduced that collection, and again, $60 to play just the core Master Chief games. Granted, I stopped playing Halo after Halo 2.
Mhm.
So Halo
I
3
only
and
played
4, it'd be
Halo
nice
2.
to catch up on those. It'd be nice to get a remastering for 1 and 2. And then I'm like, oh, this all sounds great. But then I was immediately hooked when they said that they were going to bring back the Halo 2 multiplayer as well. So
That's pretty
if they
hot.
can bundle that with an Xbox One, no Kinect, maybe like a cool design, I might pick up that bundle just for that.
We're actually talking about like if they did a Halo bundle, like say they did like a $400 bundle, it's just the connectless Xbox One with a Halo pre-installed or like a Halo download code. That would just be fucking gangbusters, I think.
Yeah.
Especially considering how well like the Titanfall bundle sold. But yeah, some people were upset. Like Charles, our very own Charles Hood, was like, "Man, that's a digital download only game that they're talking about for Halo." So, it was weird.
What, the whole collection?
Yeah,
Oh,
Really?
yeah. So he was like, "That's gonna be a really big download." And yes, I tend to agree. But yeah, that just makes it make even more sense to have that as a downloadable or as like a pack-in code for a hardware bundle. So was that like the craziest or most exciting thing you saw, Anudis?
That and some serious Sunset Overdrive gameplay.
Yeah. That game
God.
was hot.
That is so good. And Insomniac being one of my favorite studios, too. Like, having played every Ratchet game and Spyro. And it's just
Yeah.
like the one game I can't play of theirs, and it's probably the most fun-looking one.
Yeah, it was great because like you and Jacob texted me at the same time saying, "I don't know what I'm gonna write, but it's gonna be something about Sunset Overdrive."
Yeah. For me, it was like one of my favorite games on the PS2 was Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. And when I saw the way he was moving around and grinding and just constantly moving, it just reminded me of that time when I would just kill 2 minutes on an endless combo doing stuff like that.
Yeah. It was really cool, like knowing how that game works because like I'd watched Brett Shoemaker's kind of like video preview that they kind of did on Giant Bombers, like when you're moving and killing enemies, both build up this meter that just like you hit thresholds where your moves will then get more powerful. It's just like the fact that you're moving and the fact that you're shooting and killing things, like both build to this thing that makes you more and more powerful and makes everything more and more ridiculous. So that's like really cool. The momentum of the game is actually like a mechanic, and I think that's super exciting. What about you, Jared? What was the most exciting thing that you saw, just in general?
In general, I don't know. Like the most exciting thing, the thing I'm most excited about.
Sure.
I guess, which isn't really fair because I was already excited about The Witcher 3. Seeing it in motion really for the first time.
Yeah. Then he chopped that guy in half. That was
Yeah,
pretty cool.
fuck that dude. That's why. But I guess seeing, though, again, I was kind of disenfranchised by the fact there's really very little gameplay going on in this particular E3, but I'm glad Project Beast has a real name now, and it's real.
It's real.
And will probably just be another Demon Souls, Dark Souls romp with guns now, and that doesn't necessarily make it bad. For the first time, I was actually excited to see Arkham Knight.
For the first time?
Yeah, when it was announced, I didn't really care much about it. Then it got pushed back, and I'm like, I know, obviously. But I got to see what a Fear takedown looks like, and got to see Batmobiling, which I'm not 1,000% sold on, but
me either.
The truth is, Batman is still Batman.
Yeah.
And so I can still punch dudes in their dicks, and that's pretty much what I was looking for anyway.
There you go. It was like cool. Like me and Nabeshin were watching it. It was just like the excitement was building. It was just we both noticed that like it looked like it was moving faster, and you were flying faster. And
oh yeah, I caught that too. That the glide was just a lot quicker.
Yeah, it was just some hot business.
I did like the little bit at the end where it looked like a technical difficulty, and we're like, well, Sony's really good at that, so we're just gonna sit in awkward silence for 30 seconds so they get their shit together, and then Scarecrow's on the screen, and I'm like, I've seen this before. That was pretty good this time.
Yeah, it was good. Like the up close character model shot of Scarecrow was just like,
yeah, he's been through some shit. He's looking pretty rough right now.
Him and Killer Croc had like a real sexy night.
They had a reckoning.
Yeah, reckoning indeed. It was really good looking, really impressive. What about most disappointing thing, or outside of everything being coming in 2015, because that's kind of the easy answer. Were you disappointed by or turned off by Anudis?
Jeez, have to think back.
Jared, do you have one? And you
can give me a minute.
Think?
I guess it might be a tie.
Okay. It's always two things with you, Jared.
Yeah, it is. As far as disappointment is concerned, I got a lot of those. Probably the crew. I was disappointed with the crew. Mostly because there really isn't any new information. Like, it's kind of like, remember that time you heard about this thing where we were going to drive across country? And we did, so there it is. It looks good. I like the fact that Ubisoft...
It was a nice trailer, though.
It was a really nice trailer. And I'm glad Ubisoft has taken an initiative to go to find racing fans and get really in depth with them, because they're the people that buy these games and really make these games after they're sold. They're the community afterwards, and it's really how you do that that's the important part.
Yeah.
The second would have to probably be most of EA's conference.
All of
not that I like
2015.
A lot of people, shit on EA because of a lot of
a lot of stupid things.
A lot of they're a very big sports publisher, and obviously there's going to be part of their press conference is most of their games are sports games.
Yep.
But that's the fun part about iterative sports games is chances are you don't have anything new to say.
Mm-hmm.
And really they didn't. The PGA thing was funny because there's a Battlefield level. That's just hilarious.
Yeah, that was funny.
But the thing I really wanted to see was new Mass Effect information. And the only new information is that they're working on some shit.
And it looks really pretty, probably.
Dude's been drawing some pretty pictures about it, and that's all we got.
And that Krogan was fucking jacked.
That Krogan was jacked as fuck.
That's literally all we know.
Also, side note, super excited about Ubisoft's press conference as a whole, because not necessarily that it was all that great, but, I mean, yes, Aisha Taylor, whether she knows it or not, is my future ex-wife. But there's a lot to be said. Like, Ubisoft really changed shit when they had their own press conference at E3 3 years ago. Developers didn't do that. Or publishers didn't have press conferences.
Yeah, it was great when James
auctioned
Cameron
to the highest bidder for the actual developers. Or
James
the
Cameron put
console.
me to sleep. It was
right.
great.
He came out. He was like, "Let's talk about me," and I'm like, "Fuck."
You're like, "Oh no, James, no!"
But the fact that Ubisoft could have their own press conference, then EA years after, means like the most important part of this sort of ecosystem is the third-party developer. Even though the mid-tier's fallen out as the horse we've beaten forever. But it's true. But it's also true that, I mean, all the other first-party studios really aren't doing anything relevant this year. The third-party studios are. And Ubisoft was like, let me show you how, by throwing out our super ridiculous Unity trailer. Which, I mean, it's an Assassin's Creed game. Let's not pretend it's going to break boundaries. When they say they're revolutionizing their control scheme, that's not true. It's going to be Assassin's Creed with more people in it. But
and I like
damn,
that.
if an Assassin's Creed game looks, they can't make an Assassin's Creed game look any better.
Yeah, dude, like that game looks real good.
They slap a Lord cover on it, who's also my future ass mistress. And they make you super pumped
fucking hate Lord.
about.
Isn't Lord like 16?
I don't know.
17.
But it's the future, so it's okay.
She's like Norwegian, right?
He's like Australian, I think.
I don't know.
I don't fucking know, dude. But that proves the power of really the games. Not so much like Sony has, control and Microsoft has quote control, but Ubisoft has control and EA has control. The fucking Far Cry 4 gameplay was on Sony's stage. They could have put it on their own stage. They didn't. They had a perfect opportunity to just show you their game on their stage, but that's not important. They know that Sony's needs their game. They need to show that this game works and how cool it is.
Yeah, it was weird because I'm like, well, why is Far Cry not getting a demo? And it was the whole situation of like, well, Ubisoft was on Microsoft's stage, so they're probably not going to be on Sony's stage, but they didn't show a Far Cry demo, and they showed a Far Cry 3 demo, and that's what made Far Cry 3 sell so well, we think. And then they did show a Far Cry 4 demo on Sony's stage, and I'm like, well, all the rules are breaking.
And they showed a Division demo on Microsoft's stage.
Yeah, it was fucked up. And
then the fuck they want.
And then EA wasn't at Microsoft, and I was like, well, I'm confused. Are they going to be at Sony? And then they were for the one thing, and then that was it.
Right. It's
for
fucking
that one video game they had. It was bananas. I don't understand. All the rules were broken. But yeah, it was a good showing overall. I'm sad to hear that you were disappointed by Mass Effect, but you were rightfully disappointed by Mass
It's not that I'm disappointed in Mass Effect. I believe strongly in Mass Effect. I'm disappointed by the fact there's nothing to say about it.
Yeah, I agree. No, it's like they were talking about I don't know which Bioware studio, one of the 40 that they have. They're like, hey, they're working on a new IP as well. That was cool. Slipped that one in there while I was having technical difficulties and fucking sweat was dripping down my face and I was about to start stabbing someone because I was stressing out so much. But got it all to work. So, yeah. Scott, what about you? Have you decided on what you were most hyped about and what you were most disappointed by?
Let's see. Hyped? It's right now it's still Super Smash.
Yeah, Smash looks really fucking good.
It's not quite fair since I just watched the entirety of that tournament.
Yep.
Yep.
But hey, it's another Smash Brothers game, and we like those. We like those a lot.
It looks like comboing is still kind of out of the game, which is a little upsetting.
Mm-hmm.
But they've added some other stuff to it that will hopefully balance it out.
Mm-hmm.
And as for the most disappointing thing,
Yeah.
GTA 5, definitely.
Just throw that garbage in the trash can. Don't you mean nothing?
But then the other two won't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they wouldn't. They would. I bet that game wouldn't even make it onto a top 10 list for some video game website.
Nope.
I bet it would
I
get cut.
here's how the experience of GTA 5 went in my house. This time, one of my younger brothers bought it. And they're like, yeah, this game is great. And they haven't touched it since the day they fucking bought
it. That was me right here. I'm on that boat with you.
I
like,
played it.
I could have told you that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
I could have told you that was gonna happen.
But like all that golfing you guys can be doing.
Yeah, I played a lot of tennis.
5 games are good. That is it. They're good.
Yeah, they're not amazing.
You know what? A really cool thing about the GTA announcement though was Sony just said, "Yo, if you just want to transfer your saves from the 360, you can just do that." I was like, "All right, you're just gonna reach in the Microsoft pocket and just take all your saves."
What I was more. Go ahead now, Scott. Whoever you are.
You gotta understand that all the cross stuff is most likely gonna be all cross platforms. As well.
Yeah, it's like I'm sure you'll be able to. What they're saying is like you can transfer your GTA Online, just your online data to any
to any of these new consoles with new on, because the online infrastructure. I mean, when it comes down to it, is really up to Rockstar.
Yeah, it syncs with Rockstar Social Club, and then when you log in on your new platform, PC, Xbox One, 360, or PS4, and then you're good. But yeah, like Sony getting that and being able to say that at their press conference was a big deal for them, at least.
Because Microsoft gets Rockstar on their stage. That's how that usually works.
Yeah, totally.
I guess how Red Dead was announced.
Yeah. It is weird. Like I didn't expect to start at E3. I expected them to announce this at their own like little stupid event. But yeah, that was fucking crazy. The game looks good though. It looks real pretty.
Yeah, shiny ass cars.
It looked pretty, and now it looks prettier. And
you know what looks real pretty? We haven't mentioned yet is that No Man's Sky.
Yeah, no, that game still looks fucking awesome. Not as awesome as Fantasy Life, though.
Was practically shitting himself when he saw it.
Yeah, it was funny because we did the live stream and we had Greg there, our adorable Gregory Blaney.
He's like, this.
He had not watched the VGXs because
he's like, this isn't happening right now. It's not true. They were like, yes, Greg, this is.
To be fair, half of the shit that they were saying on that stage is probably not true. Of like, it's infinite. We don't know what happens next. And I'm like, that's hyperbole. But you know what?
They probably know the infinite is not in hyperbole.
I mean, the infinite is.
It's done before. It's done already.
Yeah, it's like the infinite is like we know like the different sliders that can be randomly generated. Like it just keeps going. All right. Yeah, it looks really cool. No Man's Sky. That game is probably nowhere near close.
I don't know. They were talking like it was coming out this year.
They were talking like that, and I don't know why. Because like I can't get my hopes up for that. All right, I can't.
Yeah, with a game like that, it has to be more complete. Unless they decide to go with alphas, and I hope they don't go with that route.
I hope they don't go the Minecraft route.
What?
I hope they don't go the Minecraft route, but they probably will.
No, it would be real bad if they did. It would be real bad if they did.
So even if this game isn't the poster child of procedural generation in its infinite state, in its most brilliant, it's still, even if it's like half of what this game sounds like it still sounds brilliant.
Yeah, it sounds like a really ambitious thing.
The problem with how it's set up as is exploration is pretty much all we see. You saw some kind of ammo HUD with some kind of gun, but not only did you never see the actual gun, or at least I didn't, there was also no shooting.
Yeah, I mean there was the shooting in the ship combat, but I think that they're just doing that right now because
I'm talking about getting out of the ship.
Yeah, I think they're just showing that because they wanted, like when they were talking about it after the VGXs, they wanted it to seem like this game was focused on exploration, and that it wasn't.
That is perfectly fine, but that does not last a lot of people so long when.
But like they've said, like there will be conflict, there will be combat, there will be shooting, but like they're just not demoing that. But they are giving demos at E3, So people will be able to play it, and we will be able to hear what those people think.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. So, yeah, I'm excited to hear more about No Man's Sky. But I think that wraps it up. Unless you guys have anything else you want to mention real quick about E3 that you're excited. Hey,
Magicka 2?
Yes.
That fucking
Yes.
stupid Magicka 2 trailer.
That was a hilarious
Magicka 2
fucking
was
trailer.
That was a great
fucking
trailer. You know it.
That was so good. And then this trailer where it's just
How do you like that cat?
unemployment 11 months, and it just fucking murders his cat. And then a little part of me died. I'll be real with you guys. The cat was so cute.
I fucking love Magicka. I was excited to be a part of the alpha and beta of Magical Wars, and I'm super glad the sequels, A, coming to PlayStation, it's coming to a real console, but B, even happening.
So you're saying Xbox One's not a real console?
I mean, it's a console. I mean, it is a real console. It's got that fucking platinum game. I
Like a
can't
platinum
Scalebound
Scalebound.
or whatever it's called. Fuck you guys, man. And the DLC for Dead Rising, which looks like the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life.
It does look so dumb.
And
Like,
pretty
that's-
much is exactly how I feel about most Capcom franchises. That's pretty much how I feel what they look like right now. But I think someone else did too and developed a game around it.
Yeah. I'm excited to see how on a controller too. I bet it'll be real fun. News? Anything else? Any last things?
Nope. I don't think I'm good.
All right. Good. Jarrett, anything to add on to Magicka and or?
Devolver Digital showing up in like a real big way on Sony stage.
Yeah, like fucking hey.
Oh yeah.
Also, we're gonna bring not Dave the Tentacle, but Grim Fandango, and hopefully Dave the Tentacle to PS4 and Vita. And I'm sitting here like, please bring Dave the Tentacle out. Just do it. Just
That'd
do
be
it for
funny.
me.
I was expecting to see Oddworld there, but I didn't.
Yeah, Oddworld's got a release date of like June 25th, I think now. So
I was expecting a cameo from one of the booths, but nothing.
yeah, I'm surprised they didn't like put it in a trailer either. But yeah, New and Tasty is out in a couple weeks. So. All right, I think that wraps it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you'd like to see more, of course, you can follow each of us on Twitter. I'm at AlFighter27. Jarrett is at Jarrett John. News is at Frisky_gamer, and Scott's at What to Chuz. Nabeshin is at Nabeshin186. That's Nabeshin 186. He had to drop because his internet hates him. Apparently, his computer just like exploded or something. But our thoughts, our hearts, and prayers are with him. We'll be writing some responses to E3, and I'll have an Alex Talks in some form up this week, talking about what we saw at E3, what we're excited about, what we think, our reactions, and everything around that. So stay tuned for that. That's irrationalpassions.com. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will talk to you guys again soon.